Ta-ta-ti-ta-tum. Pull up a chair, episode 60. Pull up episode 60. We are live. As you can see, I got my shake and break brethren in the house. You better shake it before you bake it. Boom. Happy to have you on board in the Thunderdome on this blessed, wonderful, beautiful, sleepless Saturday night. Now, usually when I say that around this time, we would be saying sleepless radio, but tonight we are saying pull up a chair. So happy to have you as we talk about all the crazy shit that unfolded in the simulation this week. Get your bingo cards out because it was a rocky one for sure. We're going to try to cover what we can, what we'd like to the most. But before we get into that, just in case you don't know, to my right, once again, I got my good brother, my shake and bake brethren, the magic man, Lil Koozie Vert, Lil Koozie Tente himself. Appreciate you coming through.
Happy to be here.
And if you don't know this ugly mug, today I identify as the one and only, the creme de la creme, the one they call him El Tucker Tente, the ultimate motherfucking sensei, the one who, of course, taught Bruce Lee everything he motherfucking knows, a.k.a. Space Mountain Stoney, a.k.a. Stoney Montana, a.k.a. the young Tony Clifton, a.k.a. Edward Swisherhands, a.k.a. call me what you will, just never call me broke or sad because it's Mr. Keep the love high and the motherfucking hate low, baby. Whew. Ready for this pull up a chair episode. I say we dive right in. Like I said, get your bingo cards out. Let's start with music because in the music world, it seems like that's where the most of the madness unfolded this week. Yeah. So let's just dive right into it. Feds did a sweep at iHeartRadio. The feds came knocking.
Who knew?
What they say in Wolf of Wall Street? What does Jordan's dad say? The chickens came home to roost.
Yeah. On
DJ Envy. And I think Rick Ross was having the last laugh harder than I think possibly anyone. Yeah. I think he had that laugh in the belt for about 6 months now.
I'm telling you, he knew something.
Pick a ball, battle shot. Fucking. So, for those that don't know, DJ Envy, some months back, probably about a year ago now, actually maybe even a little over a year ago from what I saw, partnered with his buddy. I'm not sure his name. I forget what it is. But he partnered with his buddy who got his real estate license. Well, as it turns out, it probably wasn't a good idea to partner with him because it turned into a rob Peter to pay Paul type situation, essentially a big old Ponzi scheme. DJ Envy was on record, on air many times. They actually meshed all the clips together. It was like 157 something times roughly.
Wow.
That he was on camera being like, hey, like, go follow this guy, like, get with my dude, like, you know, really putting these people on. And a lot of the people that DJ Envy helped put on to this guy are now losing 401ks and filing for bankruptcy. Looks like he did this to a lot of, like, older people that, you know, were kind of vulnerable, easy to pull the scheme on. Yeah. And, you know, DJ Envy, I kind of think it's a little bittersweet. You know, chickens came home to roost because, like, it's odd that, like, when a lot of people, like, getting criminal activity or have trouble with the law, he'll clown them on Breakfast Club. And it's like, you know, that karma always comes back around at some point.
Full circle, ladies and gentlemen, full circle.
Now, my thing with it is I know there's the narrative of like, oh, well, DJ Envy didn't know. DJ Envy didn't know. Now, I think there's two sides of that coin, and I think they're both true. I think the one side of it is I do think he didn't enter the situation thinking that it was going to be a Ponzi scheme and get people hurt and fucked over. I don't think that was his intention going in. I mean, he's the one of the hosts of the Breakfast Club. He really obviously clearly doesn't need the money. Right. I know maybe COVID or something, somebody mentioned maybe that took a hit on it, but only because of work. But then they were still able to do their job. So I really don't think that would be a factor by any means. So, I mean, I know people, like, you know, wanted to scam a lot during COVID. You know, they got money free, basically. So now they got used to that, getting money free. So now they're trying to get money in any way they can free. But I just don't think DJ Envy needed it. So I do agree with that side of the narrative. However, I do think it got to a point where he had to have known.
Yeah, I mean, if you
because he started
posting 157 times, you've mentioned this over a year or whatever. Like, at some point, you had to
all the way up to a couple months ago.
You know what I mean? Like,
and there was an Instagram reel of him flashing his cars, like he got a shitload of new cars, and like somebody did point out, like, look, to go back to the other point, yes, he doesn't need the money. He makes good money at Breakfast Club. He don't make that though.
No.
Like, I don't see Charlemagne buying brand new Rolls Royces off the lot type shit. Like, I don't think, I mean, do they got it? I'm sure, but I don't think you got a whole lot full of the shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he had like 10, 11 of them. So it's like, something looked a little off there. And then now it's like flexing that now. Like, you've been a host of that show for years. What'd you do? Save it all up? Like, no way.
He Frank Lucas himself.
He pulled some New York shit. He went the Frank Lucas route. All right. That's an interesting take. I haven't seen that one yet.
He wore the big fur coat. Drew the attention.
He also dressed up like a cop to mock Rick Ross. Which we all know how that turned out.
Yeah.
Tweedledee, Tweedledum, Tweedle, pick a ball bat, polisher. Would have been funnier if Rick Ross said it like that, but he said it his way, which is also still hilarious.
Yeah.
And then what was that little thing he did where he was like...
He was smacking the paddle.
Ah, got it. That was to symbolize DJ Envy's girlfriend, which apparently he was trying to give her an out.
Yeah. It turns out that way. He might have been trying to give her an out.
The only one that got an out in this whole situation, though, was Angela Yee.
Yeah.
Because she was the one that could tell something was...
She smelled that shit coming.
Looking a little funky here. That's why I find it funny. Like, notice how DJ Envy didn't get anybody in the Breakfast Club office? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't like, hey, guys, you should totally try this. Like, hey, we can sell some real estate. And they were like, oh, that looks legit. Let's get on board. Angela Yee was like, I'm looking for a job tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is the route we're going. Oh, brother.
Right.
Like,
People that spend
I don't want my emails getting raided.
decent amount of time with them.
He's like, I got fucking sex tapes with Fab from 05. I don't want my laptop getting fucked with. I'm off this bitch. Charlemagne should have took that advice too. Damn. He should have took that advice. Charlemagne, like I said, I mentioned this in pre-pod, but I pictured in this whole situation like the feds did. First off, I picture the Future song playing. Like, I picture like they're on air, it's Power 106, and they're like, and here's Future, feds did a sweet. And you hear like the, Charlemagne, open up! Like, DJ Envious! DJ Envious! I know you're in there, you pickleball pot polisher, or whatever he said. You pickleball bat polisher. I know you're in there, DJ Envious. Which, I don't know, every time he says it like that, I imagine that DJ Envy's gonna like pull the curtain out and he's gonna look like General Grievous. You're like, oh my God! DJ Envy was an alien this whole time. Aliens are real. It's DJ Envy. That's why he thought he could get away with the real estate. He has 8 sabers. You're like, you can't catch this guy. The fuck are we doing? Calling the SWAT. If that, he's just gonna summon the Death Star or whatever. What point? Which one was he on? You're a Star Wars guy.
Grievous?
Yeah.
Oh, he was on a fucking.
He was on one. I'll tell you that.
He was on one for sure.
General Grievous was for sure rolling off a beam. He was fucking wah wah wah, perfect jump, tall as hell.
Turned himself into a robot.
But yeah, so you got DJ Envy and then you got Charlemagne at the shredder, just blank face, just come on. It
reminds me. I imagine it's like in that SpongeBob episode when he's like emptying the brain files and they're all running around. Shit's on fire. The shit's getting thrown into paper shredders.
Ah!
Yeah.
Charlemagne's running through the office. DJ Envy's just standing there with an ice cream cone like Patrick Star. We're doomed. We're doomed. Oh shit. Yeah, so Breakfast Club's now hiring. With that being said, maybe all 3 positions. Maybe all 3 positions. Maybe Angela Yee is going to come back and take that shit over her damn self.
Now hiring 3 candidates instead of 1.
Yeah, possibly. If everything with Charlemagne sticks, we might be dealing with no Breakfast Club. Might want to hire somebody while we can. Who would you rehire the Breakfast Club with, though? Essentially, if you want, you can get 3 seats. But really, you only need 2 to begin with. So you can start with 2, maybe think 3. Who would you get? I'm going... Oh, this one's tough.
Yeah, I mean...
Because I would think Cardi B, but she's too busy for it. So I got to think like names that would actually be funny that could do it. All right, Miranda Cosgrove, Breakfast Club. iCarly just got canceled.
Just bring back the whole iCarly crew. We'll run the Breakfast Club. They can talk about daily rap and all the news.
And interview all these people. Please. We got the show. Jeanette McCurdy, Miranda. So you flip it. It's now 2 girls, 1 guy.
Yeah.
You get Miranda. She'll be the DJ Envy. Jeanette should probably be the Charlemagne because she's got some controversy and shit around her. Plus, she wrote a book. So we'll give it to her. Plus, Miranda Cosgrove, iCarly got canceled. So did DJ Envy's real estate business. So, no, it didn't. They left us on a cliffhanger, dog.
That shit was whack.
That could have been, I think her mom was about to pop out in that last episode. I'm acting like I watched it when I saw a headline, but now I got curious. I wanted to go back and watch, God damn it. I'm like, wait a minute, damn it. You didn't leave us on a cliffhanger. But, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing iCarly then take over the Breakfast Club. I think that's the revival. I think you nailed it right there. Freddie Benson, he can be like the Angela Yee of the group. They'll let him chime in every once in a while, and Jeanette will cut him off. So, yeah. Do what Charlemagne did to Angela Yee for 20 years anyways. Angela, yeah, so it's great. All right, Angela, we know what you're going to ask. Meanwhile, like 10 minutes later, when she gets the question, that was the best question out of all 3 of them. But, yeah, so maybe what if Pull Up a Chair took over the Breakfast Club? Pull up a chair and join the Breakfast Club.
Wow.
Pull up a chair and join the Breakfast Club. It's your host, El Tigre Tente. With me, we got little Koozie Vert. Beautiful wife in the building. Thank you guys for joining us. And we are Pull Up a Chair with the Breakfast Club. Try to do that pitch. But,
tell them hit the line.
Yeah, so ultimately, though, my last question before we leave off on it is, will DJ Envy serve time? As I grab a burp.
I mean, you would think so.
Here's a factor in this, though, and I didn't know this until about a couple hours ago. His pops is a cop high up in the NYPD. So people are thinking that DJ Envy, what he's going to do is he's going to go in there and sing like Usher in Vegas and tell that guy everything he needs to know. He's gonna tell everything on him from down to that dude's 3rd grade nickname. Like, what you need to know, Dad? Anything you need.
He stole a milk carton one time.
I need to get back to Charlemagne. He's gonna make a better show with Andrew Schultz without me. Ooh, or no, Andrew Barber. I mean, yeah. So, do I think he would serve time? No, I think exactly what I just said.
Like probation or something at most, house arrest, something like that.
Tell you what, though,
service. The
one that could end up with the time is the other one.
I mean, hey,
wouldn't that be some batshit crazy shit? Like, what I mean by that is everything happens for a reason, right? I know a lot of people are firm believers in that, me being one of them. Talk about that. It's like, all right, DJ Envy did the real estate thing. People got screwed over. Funds are there. Reimbursements will happen. In the long run, yes, people got hurt. Lives got fucked with. Prayers to the victims. But ultimately, everything will be able to get a proper resolution.
Yeah.
But what if the trickle down of all that is like the police end up being like, all right, this is all taken care of. Now, what the fuck was that in those emails again?
That's gonna happen.
That was something else.
That's for sure gonna happen.
And that's even like He's a bigger celebrity.
Yeah, he'll get investigated for that for sure. There's no way.
And you know cancel culture.
If that's true.
Cancel culture don't give a lick about hitting licks on real estate. But they give a whole lot of licks.
About sexual assault.
About that. And if you think about it too, Charlemagne, that's the bigger celebrity. Mm-hmm. So like DJ Envy, if they're like, oh, we don't need him. Right. We don't
get rid of him.
Hey, DJ Envious, skedaddle here, pick a ball, battle, polisher. No. I'll never get sick of saying that. That might be a new one. Triple P and a quadruple P. Oh no, 3 P's and a B.
Yeah.
Pick a ball, battle, polisher. Yeah. So DJ Envy, you're an idiot, but hopefully, everybody that was a victim to all that shit, though, does get their reimbursements, because that is kind of fucked up, especially for somebody of that stature. Like, it's one thing to get fucked over by a low life, but to be fucked over by somebody that has triple that anyways is like, come on, dude. Kicking me when I'm down.
The greed got him.
For sure. So moving on from that poses a question about a person that I love that just happened to do something that looked idiotic, but then turns out it was actually a well done bit, because for the first 5 times I watched it, I thought he did a trust fall with God. Rod Wave at a show a couple nights ago had a viral clip, for those that haven't seen it, where he climbs on top doing a record where he talks about jumping out the window, which I didn't get that, like I said, until I watched it with you, that he climbs up to the window, and then when it hits that part in the song, he drops back and does like a fucking 10 feet trust fall and makes it look like he went through the stage. However, turns out that was just part of the show, but I think he might want to leave that one.
That's
a
dangerous.
one-time only.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Even dangerous. Yeah, you might hit your head. He's a big guy. I really don't know.
I'm a bigger guy, and I would not try that.
I'm a smaller guy, and I wouldn't even take a random trust fall bump.
No.
I'm not really all that good with the trust fall though, because I don't really trust nobody.
Yeah.
But no, I think the trust fall is a weird thing. Like to just walk up on people and trust fall.
Yeah.
There was a dude at my old job that would do that. For the sake of the pod, I'll say his first name, but it was Charlie. He would walk up into the fucking aisle, and he would just we'd be straightening, like just putting the shit on shelves. For those that don't know, moving shit to the front. And also another term for that is blocking, my grocery store terminology there. But and then he would just randomly be like, "Yo, Duke, trust fall." And the second time he did that, I was like, "Don't do that shit."
Yeah.
No, you don't need to be trust falling in aisle 3. You might hit the cashews. Yeah, like what the fuck? We're not in B wing. We're in aisle 3. This is our job. Get away from me. Go straight in the cashews or something.
Not the cashews.
On my face, you pickleball battle board. No, okay, that's the last time I'll say it. The last time I'm saying it, maybe. But to move on to some crazier news that just broke about 4 or 5 hours ago on his Instagram, according to his mother, NLE Choppa's missing. Find out NLE Choppa. Get the milk cartons out. Put his face on him. We need to find NLE Choppa. What happened to him?
The aliens.
Abducted NLE Choppa?
Yeah.
He maybe what? I could believe it. he had some ideas cooking there with, making his own garden. Maybe they came for his garden. He fought back.
Why don't we subscribe to the OnlyFans and figure out his location?
Oh, his OnlyFans. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that. I don't know how my wife would take it if I told her, hey, I dented $50 of her vacation money because I just had to see where NLE Choppa was. I had to know, honey.
Subscribing to his OnlyFans.
If I don't know where NLE Choppa is, then how's anybody going to find him? I know we use Amber Alerts on children, but I think we might need to put one on NLE Choppa. We need to find him.
NLE Choppa doing his best Bigfoot impression right now.
I mentioned that last week. He was in Colorado. That was NLE Choppa with a Bigfoot costume on. He's like, they're never going to get me like this. Walking through the Colorado mountains. There was a Bigfoot spotting last week. Imagine such a thing. 2023 Bigfoot. And to think that it's possibly NLE Choppa is the crazier part.
It's crazy that every time there's footage of Bigfoot, the footage is shit. You tell me you couldn't have gotten a better video? I know you're not a paid cameraman.
Yeah, what camera was up there in that helicopter, bud? One from 1940? Looked like it took you 15 minutes to snap that pic.
You had to crank it, like the little fuse.
You dropped it. He's like, oh, fuck, did it slide off? No, it's good. Got caught by the door, okay. Like, now we got to find him again. There's a lot of trees down there, a lot of bark. We're losing him in the dirt. There's a lot of mud. It rained last night. We can't find the guy.
All the worst possible scenarios.
It might be NLE Choppa. It's like, we don't know. There's no, apparently we haven't found him. Here's my other thing. How long has he been missing for?
Right.
Like, did she just text him like an hour later? She's like, fuck. Delivered, no red.
It's been a couple days, no answer.
Let's look it up. When was the last NLE Choppa? Let's try to piece this thing together. Let's detect him. I'm sure he's one of those guys that has to be posted on Instagram every 15 seconds. Oh, of course.
No post.
And the only thing... Oh, wait, he might be okay. All right, we're good. NLE Choppa safe. NLE Choppa, thank God we found him. Thank you for the prayers and
man.
support. Choppa's okay. He just needed a minute, but didn't communicate it to his loved ones. I never intended to scare anyone with my post, nor did I expect for people to think he is missing. But the frustrations of being a mother of a celebrity can be a bit much and overwhelming at times. Oh, so it's kind of what I said then. I was like, oh shit, like I just don't really know where he's at this given moment. He said, I appreciate y'all showing concern, but the missing narrative isn't cool, especially knowing that people really do go missing every day. Fuck, I'm insensitive. I took a little time to myself to get back to my roots, but trust I'm all good. Apologies to anyone that was worried. We don't run from battles. We take them chin up. I'm back. Choppa. He's good, and it looked like he's home based on the location.
There we go.
So Choppa is safe.
I found NLE.
So now we got to go find that shorty that was fire burning on the dance floor, because Sean Kingston might be a little bit over his head. Sean Kingston threw out an offer this week that anybody on Stu Finder that registers to his studio can pay for a feature that comes with studio time and 16 bars of Sean Kingston or a hook. So let me tell you, I got 3 on deck. No, I saw that shit though, and my immediate first thought was I got hung up on the 30K. And I know we threw it in the group chat and we got to roast it and talk about it. I'm pretty sure we were all kind of sharing the same take. Sean Kingston, you should maybe be offering that for like, I mean, I'll be generous here, $3,000, maybe $3,000.
Yeah, I mean, man, like,
I don't want to throw Mick Jenkins' price out there, but remember what I told you that was?
Yeah.
Off camera, real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's me being generous saying Sean gets 3. I'll be honest. Sean Kingston feature, I look at that the same way I look at it as a Jay Sean feature. I'm going to revive that name from the dirt.
Jay Sean.
Yep.
What
I look
the
at the
fuck?
I look at and notice a similarity. Last and first names. Jay Sean Kingston. Look at how that worked out.
Jay Sean Kingston.
And I think they're both worth $300. And I'm saying at best. Is my hater hat on? Maybe. I got a brew cooking. Maybe my hater hat's on.
Way past the height to be charging $30K for a feature.
For like, I would say at that point, it would be like, maybe if you were offering like maybe, again, I'm reaching. I'm trying to help the guy. That's how I don't think my hater hat's
3
on.
features for at least
A project, something.
Collab tape.
Can you get Chris Brown? Do you still have his number? Maybe 30K we can make something like that shit.
Getting beautiful girls, Sean Kingston. Like,
oh, that's a good question. However, though, I did see something to debunk me. I know I keep talking from the sense of the pop music that he used to make, like the pop rap. But I did see that the people that are doing that, because oddly enough, there is people that are buying that, is reggae artists. So I don't know what Sean Kingston's currently been doing, but I'm going to take a big old shot in the dark and say it has something to do with reggae music.
Yeah.
However, though, if I got a feature from Sean Kingston, first off, I want to sit him down and ask you about Take You There. I'm not letting that shit go, dog. I'm so glad that one of my favorite things about a pod is I can bring up shit that I thought of years ago that finds its way and makes its way to be relevant today, that makes me go, I forgot about that. So Sean Kingston he had hit records, and I'm not going to lie. I even had the fucking CD at one point. I was big on, come on, give me a break. I was like 9, 10 years old. But great music for public pools. And like, I mean, if you went over any girl's house at that age, you were not listening to Jada Kiss or fucking 50 Cent. So I had to just go with the flow and go with the tide. So, my train of thought. Shout out to Bruce. Sean Kingston's dumbass. So his records. You have Beautiful Girls, which that was probably his biggest hit? Safe to say?
Yeah.
Like if you had to bring out Sean Kingston at a birthday party, that'd probably be the one that you're going to get. So that record, again, cool. But then when you go back and you listen to the hook, it's like, I know people have memed it Kingdom Come, but these bitches had me suicidal.
Yeah.
It's like, and everybody knows I'm the mental health awareness guy, so don't you dare catch me slipping. But what the fuck was he talking about in that hook?
Sean Kingston a simp?
Apparently the biggest one. Actually, I don't even know. Is that a simp? Is that a simp? I don't know what that is, actually. Damn, that bitch bad. Like, damn, that bitch bad. Like, what the fuck? Which, again, everybody, don't you dare. But,
yeah.
It's fucking crazy. And then you got Shawty fire burning on the dance floor. It's like, well, somebody, goddamn it, go get a fire extinguisher. Like, somebody probably me drunk in the club trying to get a cigarette off. Yeah. Didn't realize that I caught the fucking dress. The next thing you know, she's fucking looking like she's dancing, but she's on fire, and Sean Kingston's trying to make a song about it. And so you got to get over here, dog. That's what shut down the Bruco. Yeah. Shawty was fire burning on the dance floor. No extinguisher. That thing had been checked in months. And their liquor license, which I think was the real culprit. Yeah. I don't think Sean Kingston was the one who tore down the Bruco in 2019. Sean Kingston's crazy for that. But the craziest one, though, that I can't let him get this one off. I can't let him get this one off. He's never going to escape my bullseye. What the fuck was that song, Take You There? We can go to the slums where killers get hung. Bro, she does not want to go there. No, I don't want, nobody wants to go there. Like, yeah, bro, sick date idea. Like, imagine, like, in his situation, if you, like, match with somebody and she's like, so where you going to take me? He's like, I'll tell you where I'm going to take you, baby.
We're going to go to the slums, see you hanging.
Killers get hung. Shorty, I can take you there. And then, like, he says something else that's, like, totally backwards, too. Oh. I'm trying to remember what the follow-up is to it, but I always got stuck on that bar.
There's some...
And he's, like, trying to say it in, like, the most melodic, like, kind of sweetest way as possible. Like, let me look this up. Sean Kingston. What a career. And now this way we'll be able to see if he's actually doing reggae. Oh, shit, I forgot he had that joint with Bieber. Bieber bailed him out, though. That was funny that you were dying when I mentioned Jay Sean. It's going down. Yep, what did we say? It's reggae. Yep. So that's the people that he's getting. Yeah. Take You There is his second biggest song over Fire Burning. Then it's Eeny Meeny. I forgot he did Duddy Love. Letting Go. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, also this reggae album was his first album since 2013. So he thinks he's popping still.
He's trying to hop back in.
He took a fucking Frank Ocean leave.
Frank Ocean would be proud.
Frank Ocean was the first guy to buy the feature. He's like, yo, Sean, that shit's gangsta.
Love what you're doing, man. 9 years, no music.
9 years. I'm going to go for 10, but I like what you're doing there, guy.
I would buy a Frank Ocean feature for $30K. I don't care.
If I had $3 billion, I would buy a Frank Ocean feature if I had it. If I had it lying around, if I had $3.1 billion, I would spend $3 billion for the Frankie O feature. Yeah, I gotta look this up. I got my sound turned off so I can check the lyrics. What a guan, Sean Kingston. Oh yeah, so we can go to the tropics and sip pina coladas. Now that's normal. Yeah, that reads. Shorty, I can take you there, or we can go to the slums where killers get hung.
Well, at least he's giving her the option.
I wonder which one she's going to take.
Relaxing on the beach, sipping pina coladas, or a public hanging of a murderer.
I feel like that question is literally the difference between Taylor Swift and Sexy Red. Like, I feel like if you're on Raya or something, like, that would be like Tinder. That would be your cutoff. That would almost be like a great bio. Like, would you rather go to the tropics and sip some pina coladas? We could do that. Or I could take you to the slums. I don't know, lots of people get hung in the streets.
Yeah, hear me out. We could go do this.
And Sexy Red would be like, yo, take us to the streets. Taylor would be like, all right, I want those pina coladas.
She's definitely a mimosa girl.
Yeah, like when gunshots just run up on us quickly. Why the fuck would anybody want to go there? Like, dude, that does not read. Why would, no, like, she does not want to go there, dog. Girl, just stay by my side. Yeah, she's not going to want to leave it. Hopefully you have a gun. Where are you going?
It's basically this whole song's asking if she wants to go to paradise or stay in the slums with him.
And, like, he's just cool with either option, too. He's like, she took the slums. I guess could have went to the tropics, but I guess I'll cancel that cruise. Back into the fucking beater we go. Oh my God. Sean Kingston, man, what the fuck are you doing? Now he's asking for 30K features. Maybe too many bitches took the tropics option. Maybe now when he performs that song, he's like, man, I should have just gave him the slum option. Like,
should have made it multiple
Those
choice.
pina coladas, they weren't that pricey in 08, but goddamn, 2018, them bitches started hitting. I said double digits? I said single shot. You said double digits? Whoa, buddy. Let me go make some reggae music.
30K feature.
Fuck. I knew this episode would be good. Like everybody knows, I put it in the description. If you don't know, now you will. We are taking a vacation with much needed vacay. That's why I wanted to go out with a bang, sip some brews with my good brother Koozie, and get some laughs off, because this week had some funny shit. But on that note, we can get a little serious for a minute. We can dial it back, reel it in, and get a little bit serious for a second. Let's talk some new music. I wish I could play that Offset soundbite from the Jealousy record where he's like, let's talk about some music. But unfortunately, I don't have that equipment yet. We'll get there. But sooner rather than later. But I know there's not much new music to talk about. However, because you are the guest, I will let you pick. Would you rather start with singles, or would you rather start with albums? There is not much for either, but a little bit to talk about.
Let's start with singles. We'll
start with singles.
The side stuff, make our way into the entree.
All right. Well, let's start ourselves with the single that dropped on Wednesday. My man. Adonis dropped a fucking doozer. He dropped My Man.
Hey, I mean, that's a 6-year-old rapping about 6-year-old shit. I mean.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, first off, I'm glad you mentioned that. Did you see any of the narratives about, like, people talking about how, like, they were, like, breaking down, like, oh, my God, like, he like, pretty much dissecting the lyrics as trash. And to your point, when you want to rap like Lupe? I
mean,
he's 6 years old. Like, looks like he was a kid at his birthday
vocabulary is
party.
not even good enough.
Yeah, like you could tell he wrote it, which I thought was cool.
Yeah,
because his dad easily could have
gave him something and just said,
"Hey,
read this.
say that you can read."
No, it's
like
and
it showed. I'll say this too, though, real quick. I think it showed that, like, I always say it runs in the genes and shit. I think it showed that Adonis
has some interest in the.
Yeah. And, like, the line that caught me, too, is when he said something about 10,000 hours. First, I was like, I don't even know if you've been alive that long. But I was like, I'll give it to you. But, like, I was like, I will give it to you. But I really think that, like, that line might be telling of, like, he's already, like, aware of that. Like, that was, if you think about it, the most lyrical bar in that whole thing. If you were to go that route. That was like the one time where it was like the 6-year-old just meant how he knows about the 10,000 hours method. Now that he probably heard from his dad, and that stuck in his head, which makes me go back to that genes point of, like, those gears are already in his head a little bit, floating, not quite sure know what to do with it. Mm-hmm. But obviously you can see he's having a lot of fun. I thought the video was cool. And again, why are we breaking down the 6-year-old's thing? Come on, it's a music video. He made fun of his dad at one point, if you saw, remember when Drake was drunk at the mic after the Toronto win, when they won the finals, and he had the hood up over his head and the sunnies on because he didn't want to look like he was drunk. Yeah. And it showed that Drake could take a joke because he's sitting next to him, even trying not to laugh. Like, oh, that's funny. He did the thing where he roasted that viral video of Drake when he was doing the pump with the trainer. I thought that was funny. That shows that Drake has a sense of humor. Like, hey, I'm going to let my son make fun of me a little bit. Like, internet will get a laugh out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
However, though, I thought the record was dope.
Man, that shit.
I'd be lying if I told you I haven't played that shit back. I played that shit back a couple times.
I mean, I had to listen.
Like, I let it. It
wasn't like there was, like, complex.
I was kind of like head bobbing at work the one day. Like, man. Plus, the beat's tough.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like when
This
I did
dude's
not
already
expect
getting
the
shit
full
mixed
freestyle.
by 40 at 6 years old.
40 ain't gonna be around much longer. He's got to get it while he can.
Whoa. What Michael Clark Duncan saying Talladega Nights? Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby! Don't you put that on me! You can walk just fine.
Bro, though, I mean, hopefully good health to 40 and everything. I just know he's got his condition, and it's usually a cause of concern. So
that's why even I thought that was a low blow when Pusha went there.
Yeah, but I mean,
I literally looked at that the same way of like, and you know me, I'm go for the throat, go for all of it. Throwing somebody under the bus who's got basically a form of cancer or something along the severity of those lines. You want to make fun of somebody for breaking their ankle for being a dumbass, go for it.
Yeah.
Making fun of somebody for getting a serious disease, I think that might not be cool.
Yeah.
I think I might be good on that.
I hear you. It's also, Drake also said something about Cuddy's mental health on Two Birds, One Stone. So
he did. Okay, you're right. I can't play one side. You're right.
So I mean, it's hard to give him shit about that one, but
I forgot about that. Yeah, he did too, didn't he? Because I remember Cuddy ended up going on like a Twitter rant and being like, saying what you just said, and being like, you can say a lot of things about me, but don't bring that up. Like I work on that shit.
So CLB on the I Miss You Too feature was kind of huge. I feel like it was like
that's a beef squash.
Yeah.
We also got a new single earlier in the week for a new Danny Brown album coming out. Now I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce this. I'll have you go for it too, though. Quaranta?
I would say Quaranta.
Quaranta.
Yeah.
Quaranta.
Quaranta.
So what it stands for is, I forget what language it says, but it means 40.
40?
Yeah. It means 40.
Yeah.
And the meaning behind that is his breakthrough project when he hit the scene back in like 2012 was XXX, which stood for 30. So now this is going to be obviously, kind of like a sequel to that. Mm-hmm. He dropped a single with a video, I believe, but I did not see the video yet. But the single is called Tantor, and it's produced by The Alchemist. Absolutely amazing single. Love hearing Danny Brown back. I highly recommend capital H-I-G-H. Recommend that you check that out. I think Danny Brown killed it with that single. Rick Ross and Meek Mill dropped another new single for their album coming out, Too Good to Be True, November 17th, called Lyrical Easy, which sampled Lyrical Exercise off the Blueprint by Jay-Z.
Okay.
And it's a short record. It's about 2 minutes long. I know you said you hadn't heard it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Probably end up playing it for you. It gives me that old Maybach music group, the Double MG vibe, and it brings back that nostalgia for me a little bit. So I think that's why I've been eating up these singles so much. But I would say they're 2 for 2 right now. I actually highly recommend checking out that single as well. Like I said, it goes about 2 minutes, 15 seconds. I think you'll dig it. I know you're not too big on Ross, but you get a little bit of that old Meek on it where he starts getting into it and chopping away at it. Which I always love it when Meek does that. But now to go into the other duo, another duo, I should say, who dropped their first single, the Collie Grove 2, coming out November 17th. So that'll be interesting to see how those two albums go head to head, which we will dive into that for a brief minute. They dropped a single called Pressure. I know you heard that. What'd you think about that?
I haven't listened
to it. Oh, you didn't hear it?
I'm saving it.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, right. You're saving it until you can hear it in full.
I want to listen to one listen through.
Well, I did hear the single. In fact, I've heard it now about 2 or 3 times. I like the verses. I like the beat. I'm going to want more, though.
Yeah.
Like right now, Ross and Meek, they got me like, all right, if I don't get another single, I'm good. These two are good. I'll bump them for the next 20 days. Let the album fly. Right now with 2 Chainz and Wayne, I'm going, okay, where's that second one? I want that second one. Because this I don't know about. This one I'm on the fence. Me, I'm on the fence.
Might be a teaser. It might be, instead, the counterpoint being, maybe Ross and Meek drop the meats and the potatoes as singles, and Wayne and Chainz tossed out like the green beans.
Ooh. Nice take.
It's a possibility.
So, if we're going by that take, which I like it, that Ross and Meek are coming from the point of like, Yo, Meek, that last album, that didn't really go over publicly so well.
Yeah.
Ross, obviously, you're depending on how you feel about him. I feel like that's a dude that's always maintained relevance, put out great project, put out great music, had great features. Yeah. No matter how you feel about him, he's always stayed in that lane. Yeah. Wrote it very well, been incredibly successful.
Oh yeah.
So I think this was kind of like trying to put the rocket ship back on Meek and getting that double MG like they did on me, get that nostalgia back, get the old fans back, get me going, okay, let me dial back in here. What's going on? Maybe you're right. Of like, they're like, all right, we can't do the green beans. If we give them green beans, they're not gonna be here for the meat and potatoes. Yeah. They're not gonna wait for the entree. 2 Chainz and Wayne are like, man, our first one went over so damn good. If we just give them the green beans, the French fries, let that entree sizzle back there a little bit, shake and bake it, have you, bring that shit out there then to when like you got somebody like me going, all right, I need more. And then I go into the album like, all right, here's where you had the bar. Then they go, let me show you where the bar really is. Yeah. Type shit.
And I definitely think that could be a possibility because Wayne does that with his mixtapes. I feel like you get the teasers, what he's been on, and then he comes out with the Carter, and you're like, oh shit, like.
No, another thing that might prove your point. No video. No video.
If they thought it was gonna be a banging song, do you think they would have had some sort of?
Guess what? Ross and Meek have videos. And that's maybe Wayne and Chainz just being like, we don't need that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Wayne. Out of all four of those names,
yeah,
that name's gonna attract the most attention, anyways. Mm-hmm. Plus, I know you're a big 2 Chainz fan, so people like you get 2 Chainz immediately. So I know we talked a little pre-pod, but for pod's sake, November 17th, you're getting ready to listen to new music. You got enough time for one of the albums. Which one do you listen to first?
Wayne and Chainz, Collar Grove 2.
I might change my answer. Nah, I can't change my answer. I think I gotta go Ross Meek. Just for the sake of the double MG. But remember, I'm also super ecstatic for the Collar Grove 2. I mean, I think Collar Grove 1 was amazing. Thought that was a great collab project. Thought that was really dope. Plus, I like their beats. Mm-hmm. Like where they meet on the middle ground, where like Wayne can do the really fast shit. 2 Chainz is like, all right, save those for you, bud. And then 2 Chainz, the more like Pharrell beats, obviously Wayne can do any beat, but he's like, no, let's do more of that, like, are you motherfucking right? That kind of thing where they get to like have fun and kind of bounce back and forth off of each other. Now, here's my other question though. Which one do you think is going to sell more? Just talking sales. Let's talk sales. Industry talk.
I don't really keep up with sales too often, but if I had to guess, I mean, Wayne's name is just gonna sell off that. I mean, I know we're not talking about scrubs or low tier rappers or anything. We're talking about Rick Ross, Meek Mill, 2 Chainz, and Wayne.
That's what I'm saying.
But like, obviously,
same day battle, like that competitive of like, who's gonna get the edge on it? Type shit.
You got the double MG like collab tape, the Collar Grove 2, like it's.
Can I tell you
what's setting up for a good Music Friday?
Oh, us fans win first.
Oh yeah, every time.
Like I say the same thing with wrestling when they go AEW and WWE's at war. I'm like, great, I'll tune in to both. Like can't wait to see what they do to try to top one another.
Yep.
And I feel like now that they both announced it, like ahead of time, which I'm not actually. I think Ross and Meek announced first.
Okay.
And then 2 Chainz and Wayne were like, fuck it, let's have some fun. Like, let's go for the 17th. And I don't think Ross and Meek are immediately, like, scared either.
No, I don't think so.
I think the X factor, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm actually going to give a hot take here. I'm hot take Tuker. Like I said, pull up at your episode 60. I'm firing on all cylinders. I'm not quite sure what the math of who and what they're going to sell is going to do because that gets really tough. You talked about sales being tough. Trying to actually guess a number is really tough.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to necessarily do that. Here's what I am going to say, though. I'm thinking Ross and Meek outsell. I can't believe I'm saying this. Wayne and 2 Chainz by 15K.
15K. I could see
10 to 15K.
I could see Wayne and Chainz selling more week 1, but Ross and Meek consistent over the.
Okay. Like, you're saying us, let's just talk from the double MG nostalgic perspective. We're not necessarily the quickest to the new music. Fair?
Yeah.
So, you know, where maybe one of the fans is like, fuck, man, I work for the next 5 days. I want to actually sit and listen to this shit. Like, get into that old vibe, maybe burn one, you know, get my drink on type thing. I'm not going to be able to listen to this for 5 days. Well, then that factors into now your first week sales are down.
Yeah.
Because maybe most of the fan base going in isn't the younger generation.
Yeah.
Which I think also plays a factor into both of these albums. However, I think the younger generation would lean more, if I'm not mistaken, into 2 Chainz and Wayne.
I would agree.
Because Ross is a little bit where you stray from the young generation.
It's like in that no man's land.
Yeah, he's starting to talk. He talks about things that the young generation just. I don't care how many bezels are in your watch. Like, you know, like where I'm like, how many? 120? But I just my watch doesn't even tick. But I think though that will be interesting, and like you said, us fans are going to win out big time on that. Back to the single talk though. There was another duo, big duo, just however not necessarily what you call a known duo, but they're from a very known label that are back dropping more consistently, and I think they're getting the gears turning on a high level. J-Rock and Ab Soul dropped another single for J-Rock's album called Blowfly. I mean, I got beef with it, but it's good beef. It's good beef. It's beef that you want to have when I say I got beef. Okay, I think J-Rock killed both verses. Mm-hmm. Amazing beat. Another amazing single. Highly recommended, by the way. Capital H-I-G-H. I love Ab-Soul on the hook. The only thing is, you could have made that about a minute longer and gave Solo a verse. Because that beat Solo would have fucking cooked. And I feel like in the old school TDE days, we wouldn't have cut that bitch at 3 minutes. We would have let that bitch ride 4 minutes 30 maybe.
I think that plays a lot into like how we talk about the attention spans now, where music, like, it's hard to get audiences to tune in for a 5-minute song, like, unless you're really like a fan.
Yeah, like you get me and you on board, but somebody else might be like, damn, the song's almost 5 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like people definitely turn their head down to songs that are like 4 minutes or longer.
Well, now more than ever.
Yeah.
And especially like, you know, the generation's coming up. Mm-hmm. That's why you can see Lil Baby on his album. It's like, what? The song's $1.30?
So a lot of the albums I feel like...
He got in and got out?
A lot of the albums I feel like I've been listening to, song tracks really aren't going on past 3.5. But I did, it was nice to check out West Side Gun's album and see a couple 6-minute bangers on there and stuff like that. Something you could really just fall into.
I said it last week. I'll say it again just so people know how I'm sitting with it. That's still an album of the year contender for me. I'll be talking about that on the Sleepless Radio Awards for show. For show, talking about that album. We were talking about Kitchen Lights earlier, literally right before we went live. Good God almighty. No full pun intended, actually, but he let Stove God cook.
Yeah.
I stole that one from Dooley. Dooley, when you're watching this, he's going to be like, you better fucking quote me, motherfucker. Another good single that dropped off of Dennis' Daughter album coming out for Lola Brooke is Pit Stop featuring French Montana. Granted, French Montana only got about 8 to 12 bars, but French Montana cooked that shit. And Lola Brooke is showing that XXL this year, even though it kind of flew under the radar, there was a couple prospects on there that have kind of showed out over time. Like, I think Lola Brooke, for being a female artist, I know you're getting lost in the Sexy Reds, the Ice Spices, which I think are all great too. But I think Lola Brooke is like them mixed with Glorilla on that talent level. Okay. It just doesn't show because Lola Brooke doesn't necessarily have the ratchetness. She doesn't necessarily have the white. She doesn't necessarily have the, which you know what the wipe is, right? When Ice Spice does, stop playing with him, Riot. Oh, I had a joke right there, but I gotta let it stay. I gotta let that one stay. For the Reddit users, go what on Reddit. Somebody throw the subject. What was the joke? And we'll go in on Reddit. I'll tell you what. It starts with an I and it ends with an L, and it's talking about overseas. And I'm not gonna do it on the pod. So take that shit to Reddit, and we'll have fun on there. I'll have a 20-hour trip till I get to my vacation destination. So I'll be on Reddit having fun with y'all. So throw that question on there. Another single that I wanted to throw out, though, and this one I wanted to just take a quick little pit stop on, because this is one of my guys. I got to geek out over it. Wale dropped a new single, freshly signed to Def Jam, and the record's called Max Julian. That's my highly recommendation of the week. Okay. That's my highly recommendation of the week right there. That topped it for me on this weekend. I've listened to that probably a good 15, 20 times now. It's fucking sickening. If it bangs, it bangs. I say it 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000,000 times more. Wale, maybe one of the most, if not the most underrated rapper that I know. Underappreciated is a good word. Underappreciated, good words. Not underrated, because everybody knows what Wale's capable of. They know the catalog, they know the music, and if you don't, well, you're doing yourself a disservice. But Wale, as far as an underappreciated note, yeah. But I do think that the signing to Def Jam, and I always go back and forth on how I feel people should remain independent, and some people should, chase the major label. I think Wale needed the major label, and he needed it right now, and I think this is perfect. Yeah. I think this is perfect. Because now he can get that budget back, get those features, get the production, get the rollout, the marketing, the promo, get the tour. I think we can get something cooking on there, and I'm telling you this right now. If Wale goes on tour, I'm going to try to not make your girl mad at me, because I'm going to ask you to go to that show. I'll go to that show. Yeah, sure. Gotta go to Wale. I imagine you'd come to the House of Blues. It'd be amazing. I don't even know who you'd bring. That just gets my mind seeing the best of stars. But I've never got to see Wale yet. And the album About Nothing, for those that don't know, is probably in my top 10 favorite hip-hop albums of all time. The older I get, the more I sit with it. I don't think you've heard it yet, though, right? Max Julian. No video as far as I know, but really love the cover art, though, to it as well. Yeah. So I feel like there's got to end up being a video. But love Max Julian. That's my highest recommendation of the week. Another record that came out single-wise was Lyrical Lemonade dropped another single. So this is his third. So far, he's dropped Doomsday, which was Corday and Juice WRLD. Yeah. Then he dropped Kid Cudi and Lil Durk. Guitar in My Room. Did you hear that one? Yeah. What'd you think of that?
I wasn't a fan of that.
Didn't do it for you?
I don't like Lil Durk.
You couldn't get into Durkio? No. Smirkio? Poppin' Perkios?
Poop Smirkios.
If I ever come out with a cereal, it would definitely be called Perkios. Perkios. In the shape of 30s. You're like, whoa, that's my marshmallow.
Mom, can we get Perkios?
I've been hearing all about them. The marshmallows are shaped like 30s, whatever that is.
Look, Mom, there's a 30 and printed on my marshmallow.
Hey, Mom, why does this piece of cereal have 4 X's on it and shaped like a rectangle? Honey, that's a sandbar. Oh God. Have like a Viking cereal, and you get like a toy straw made out of a Viking helmet. You like sniff through the top, it makes like a horn sound.
Viking charms.
It's like a Spartan call, and you're just blowing a fucking line. You're like, wow, Mom, I can't believe this cereal was $40. I only got half a bowl. Oh, I love it when shit just comes naturally. But Lyrical Lemonade did drop a new single, Lil Tracy and Corbin, which I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with the Corbin individual. However, though, it samples a very well-known record, and now I'm going to be pissed if I blank. Okay, what's the "We can live like Jack and Sally if we want"? No, 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 no. Oh, my God. Hello, dear. And I'm so sorry.
Why can't I think of that name?
I just can't stop calling. Yeah, that is what they sample, though. That's cool. And the song's called Hello There. And I can't believe I'm saying it. I know I love the Corday Juice joint. I actually enjoyed Guitar in My Room. I enjoyed it. I'm a Durkio guy. I can't believe I'm saying this. I think that might be the best single so far.
Yeah.
That might be the best one of those three. That's my style.
You have been on a Blink-182 kick, though.
That is true. That is true. I am guilty as charged with the Blink-182 kick. Remember when Adam Scott says that in Step Brothers? Guilty as charged with the Blink-182. Okay? It is my guilty pleasure. But no, I think as far as that emo sound goes, though, that's always been my thing.
That's fine.
I mean, come on, I'm a little peep stan. Like, R.I.P. In fact, it is his birthday month. Happy birthday, guys. But yeah, I think great record though that they dropped there. Also featuring Black Kraken. I don't know who that is either, but that tends to be the theme with that emo scene, so to speak, of that kind of alternative hip hop route. Okay. But I'm a Lil Tracy guy big time, and they let him do the cover of the hook, the Live Like Jack and Sally. But then they also remixed it though, so it wasn't like they did a complete ripoff. Yeah. Like, you know how people recently have been doing those samples like NLE Choppa, thank God we found him. But they've been doing shit like that. This was actually like all they did was do the hello there and then put the rest of their words in. They didn't, as far as I know, I got to hear it a little bit more, but they didn't just completely rip it. Gucci Mane dropped his album on not albums yet. That it for singles? That is it for singles, actually. So we are on to albums. Gucci Mane dropped his album earlier this week on 10/17 because that is his birthday. That obviously is the number that's always surrounded him. Did you listen to it? What's your interest level on listening? Raise the question.
I don't have an interest level on listening to it.
Let me give a follow-up. Were you ever on the Gucci wave?
No.
No.
Not even like pre-prison Gucci.
If you were to maybe put what we call the hater hat on for a minute, there it is. What would you say about Gucci's career while your hater hat's on? Because a lot of people are saying that this album may have been the fork and the, what do they call it? The knife and what do you put in the coffin?
Stick a fork in it, it's done.
Yeah, you stick a fork in and it's done.
The nail in the coffin.
The nail in the coffin. And why was I thinking knife? It's like you're trying to play like a Michael Myers game. You're like ding 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 ding. They're like, I think he's dead already. We embalmed him. But you don't need to stab him, Michael. He's been dead. There's like 20 people alive here in the first 3 rows. That's a blind Michael.
I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like Gucci definitely had his notoriety before he went to jail and everything like that. I mean, he definitely had a couple, what people would consider hits for him. I feel like, Lemonade and stuff like that, but never really a fan. And honestly, like, I feel like I liked him more after he got out. But then again, he was kicking it with Drake, and he made a couple of bangers.
I'm glad that you said that. I think his best run, if not tied for his best run, was, okay, I'll give the tie. Right before he went in and right when he got out.
Right when he got out, he came out hot.
Came out red hot. I actually don't think I've seen someone come out and bounce back that
East
great.
Atlanta Santa and...
Oh, there was a stretch of projects. If you remember, there was like, here, let's go to it. Let's go to the catalog. There was a good stretch in there. And my favorite Gucci song of all time will still always be Lemonade. I'll never get sick of that one. Yeah, he had a great run. And then it just something happened.
I feel like he releases too often. Right there.
Yep. So he came out with Everybody's Looking.
Those 3 albums where I feel like
that was amazing.
He had himself, he had the train moving again.
Waptober, banger.
These 3.
Return of East Atlanta Santa, banger. Drop Top Wop, banger.
Even
Mr. Davis.
Even Mr. Davis.
Bangers.
Yes.
Because that had I Get the Bag, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I Get the Bag, yeah. So that had a hit. That had Make Love with Nicki. That had some joints.
Features on there, like
Curve with The Weeknd. And then here we're kind of getting a little rocky. Gato, the Human Glacier. I didn't have nothing. Evil Genius. Okay, we got Quavo, 21 Youngboy, Kevin Gates. Okay, Wake Up in the Sky, Bruno Mars and Kodak. That was a hit. All these other ones, though, I'm not seeing nothing.
But
so we got a hit
yeah.
there, but then you get Delusions of Grandeur. I don't remember a lick of that. And there's names all over that. There was Woptober 2. East Atlanta Santa 3 that I didn't even, to be honest, know was a thing.
I think part of the issue is he just drops so often.
Didn't our buddy
can't catch them all?
Didn't Big PJ Tucker say that in the chat? He's like, he just drops too much. Ice Daddy, I didn't even know was a thing. And then now we got Breath of Fresh Air. But why I wanted to start with that, and I also posed the question, another piece of information I think you should know as to why I'm asking like the what happened to Gucci question. I do follow chart data for the sake of the pod and like to every once in a while bring up sales. Now, I am a Gucci Mane guy. In fact, I added some joints on the album. I actually somewhat enjoyed the album, so I'm not a complainer. My hater hat's not on. For once, your hater hat's on. It gets to stay on for this one if you'd like it to. You can take it off at any time, though, Koozie. Take it off at any time. That's how the hater hat works. But the sales are abysmal. I mean, abysmal.
Surprise.
To put it in perspective, we're talking under 25K total.
That's crazy.
Now, here's the thing, though. He stacked the deck. He dropped 10 singles.
I mean, that's crazy.
Videos upon videos. We got features from Lil Baby, 2 from Dolph, 1 from Key Glock, 1 from J. Cole and Mike Will Made It, 2 from Kodak, 1 from 21 and DaBaby, 1 from Roddy Rich and Nardo Wick. 24 tracks, 2 sides, 12 on each. Not even breaking 25K sales.
That just goes to show you, I think people have tuned out of Gucci's career unless you're a Gucci fan.
Correct me if I'm wrong. J. Cole drops a single right now featuring Gucci Mane and Mike Will Made It. It will do 25K by Monday.
Yeah.
Like, if that. So, I guess for the, poise a good question with it then is, I'd like to say this then. Is there a bounce back, for lack of better words? Is there a bounce back? Is there a, wow, I threw everything I had at this. I threw everything I had, and a couple of the singles stuck, but overall, nothing really stuck at all. What do you do?
I don't know if I necessarily want to call it a bounce back. It is Gucci, and we know it's a name that people know. I mean, but I don't...
Bounce back is in terms of, let me rephrase it like this. How do you get back to that run that we just talked about when he got out?
I think you got to give them some time. You got to sit down instead of releasing. I mean, it's all obviously you look at his discography. He's dropping albums 2 times, 3 times a year. It looks like almost sometimes. Like,
and we didn't even get into the EPs and compilations.
You know what I'm saying? So
all those, which I saw those. There's compilations where he's working with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, so to speak.
So it's like I feel like the McDonald's was a good point where it's like, okay, people fuck with McDonald's, but they're not necessarily going to go out of their way to be like, oh, McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like it's like, okay, I know what I'm going to get.
And
I've had it before. I'll eat it. It's cool, but
all of a sudden, the more you're stopping at McDonald's, all of a sudden on the 9th time you're going, man, these fries ain't really it.
Yeah.
Like, damn. Let me actually, you know what? Let me go get those Burger King fries. I remember how those taste. Like, that kind of thing of like, ugh, the Gucci thing. Oh, fuck. With that being said, though, I actually think there was a standout joint on that album. So, with that being said, I added the first track, Must Be Me, which I actually think is a really solid Gucci track. That's the thing that kind of got me a little fucked up for a second. When the thing first started, when the album first started, I heard Must Be Me, and I'm over here thinking like, oh, God, like, if this is how it's going to start, like, we're back to Gucci. Like, I really thought it. And I'm like, oh, the next one's Baby feature. Like, all right, I forgot how that single sounded. And I heard that one. And granted, I didn't add it, but I'm like, okay, there's still something there. Great. The next one's Dolph. And I'm like, oh, man. Oh, shit. I'm like, all right, well, there's still another Dolph try, so maybe. And then 4 with Lil Ryan Set. I don't even know.
How many tracks are on that album?
24.
It's too much.
12 side each, totaling hour and 24 minutes each.
See, that's like...
Some of these records, too, for him are long. Like, you had Pretty Girls with Dolph again, which that... Also, I didn't like what he did with Dolph on that one. Maybe I'll put my hater hat on. I had to put it on. I had to put it on under the hat for a second, real quick. I don't really like it. It's a little pointy for me. It shows I've used it too much. But I don't like how he used Dolph on track 5. Because obviously he did the featuring Young Dolph. Bro, he mumbled on your outro, dog. I don't like that. I don't like that. Yep, 3.5-minute record featuring Young Dolph. We got 2 features by Young Dolph. Let me come from the perspective, which I'm not, but I'll play devil's advocate. Let me play my perspective as a Dolph stan. Oh, cool. All right. His estate's been handling the music pretty well. We haven't really got that much new Dolph in a while. 2 new features on the Gucci Mane, his biggest inspiration. Oh my God, that was his hero. Oh, this is going to be awesome. I can't believe we never got to hear these. Not even snippets. Track 3. Okay. Oh, that was probably going to be like throwaway. Okay. That number 5, though, that's going to be the one. Let me get to that one. Let me skip track 4. Who's Lil Ryan set? Bow, let me go to 5. Okay. All right. Okay, Gucci's kind of doing his thing, but man, I can't wait to see what Dolph do. Yeah, man, Gucci, you my guy forever. Love you. Track 6.
That's it. That's the feature.
And if I'm Dolph, I'm going. Oh well, he kind of sings over the melody with Gucci on the last hook.
Yeah, okay, but
which leads into the outro where he goes, "You're my hero," and he goes like, "I love you, Gucci."
Yeah, that was a.
I would be livid. I'd be livid. Because I come from the perspective of if I looked at that and said, featuring Mac Miller. Mm-hmm. And you're telling me
he says
that
5 words and sings a chorus.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, so you used his name.
Yeah.
And you still didn't get what you wanted. Mm-hmm. Like, so now you really just pissed me off. Like, because, I mean, I feel like that was both of his Dolph records, no? I mean, they've done past previous work. I'm not saying that's the only 2 joints they've done. Yeah. I'm just saying that, like, maybe that was the 2 that got cleared by the estate.
Yeah, I mean.
Bro, at that point, if that's the only soundbite you got for him on the record, leave that shit off.
Yeah.
Leave that off.
Just left that off.
Or just don't put featuring Young Dolph. Or don't put that. Because then it's a surprise. You know what I mean? Then it's, oh, that's Dolph. Like,
yeah.
Oh, like, that's a nice little cool thing. Didn't see that coming. Meanwhile, you put featuring Young Dolph like I'm about to hear a 16.
Right.
You know, you can't do that shit to me.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
But yeah, overall, though, Gucci album, it's going to need a bounce back. He's going to need some sort of a bounce back. But Gucci, you got the cult following. We both know a mutual friend of ours. He got a fucking tattoo of the guy. Yeah. He ain't going nowhere. He's probably part of that 25K running the shit up. Another great album that I think came out was Blink-182 dropped one more time, since we were just talking about Blink-182. Guilty as charged with the Blink. Love their new album. Definitely recommend checking that out for my rock fans out there. My favorite standout record on there, the one that I do highly recommend, is called Bad News. Then you got another album that dropped, which was Young Scooter, Streets Crazy. I have to mention the Free Bands member. He dropped Come Eat With Us featuring ESTG, which I think was a great record on there, and Broke Make Me Sick. Not going to lie, after doing my shift last night at the day job, 2 to 10, and then bouncing back and going to work at 6 a.m., and coming out at 2, I came out of work bumping Broke Make Me Sick. Bro goes Make Me Sick. You pickleball paddle bush. Yeah. I'm never going to get sick of that. And the last album that I wanted to talk about before we pivot off into the other subjects and topics, which didn't have much meat and potatoes to them. Fortunately, that fell all on music this week. Was Michi Darko from the Flatbush Zombies did drop an album, which is a love letter to acid and psilocybin called Doses. And not to kind of out your vice here, but I know that is one of your vices. It maybe used to be a little bit more than it is now. I'm trying to give you some bail on it for the sake of a camera. But I think you would enjoy how each of the records on this EP, which it's only 9 tracks, so easy listen. And it's a Michi Darko solo. He's only got a couple features on it. But each record is referred to as the record title and then what tab. Okay. And he said in the Hot 97 interview that each of like the records, like every time he would record, Like he would write maybe a little bit ahead of time, but then when he would go to the studio, he would take tabs. And so he called like each record like a experience of being like on acid and like actually recording it, like on some acid rap shit.
Yeah.
That's why, like on some of the records, he goes, it literally sounds so raw because it was, and I wanted to keep it that way. And I'm like, that's different, because there's a couple times where it's like, bro, you're way the fuck off the beat.
Yeah.
It kind of also at the same time matched it because it's like, oh, that
the
fit the
concept
vibe of it. And he was still getting his shit off on that big time. So yeah, great. A lot of new music that came out. I don't know if anybody got to call bingo on all the bullshit that went out this week. I just imagine somebody like being like, and iHeartRadio got swept. Ah, bingo! Got it! Breakfast Club shut down immediately. Like, they're like, damn. Like, I had DJ Envy being the pedophile and Charlemagne being the real estate fraud. Fuck! Damn, now I need an N and an O. But now to dive into a different subject, which I'll let you take your pick. We got TV, movies, we got sports, we got wrestling.
Let's say TV movies.
TV movies. Well, not too much to talk about TV and movies. Was that a zinger? Was that a dinger?
Schwarber just hit one a couple minutes ago, and Harper just hit 1 yard.
Solo?
Yep.
Well, to dive in on TV and movies, for those that don't know, we do got the Phillies game on in the background, which we will dive into that here here shortly, because I don't got too much to talk about as far as TV movies go. However, I always like to make sure that people are all caught up with what came out and what's released and where. So, if you're a Martin Scorsese or Leonardo DiCaprio fan, Flowers, or Killers of the Flower Moon, hit theaters. And that seemed to be the movie that's taken over the whole weekend. Nothing wanted to drop with it. They're just kind of letting it ride.
It's not true.
Really?
Taylor Swift had her film.
Oh, I thought that came out last week, no?
It might have, but it outsold Scorsese's movie this weekend.
Oh, shit. I saw it outsold Saw last weekend.
Did it?
And then now Saw just came out to digitals yesterday, which is something else that I wanted to mention. Which I am excited to rent that. I might actually be renting that possibly tonight. Who knows? Maybe even be in the background of our session. Who knows? But yeah, so Saw X hit digitals. Killers of the Flower Moon hit theaters. I did not know that Taylor Swift is also cleaning the fuck up this weekend.
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese's so old school, he probably don't even know who she is. He's like, Taylor Swift.
That's true.
Oh, is that Robert Plant's daughter? Right. I could say that like Tony Clinton. Like, Taylor Swift! Robert Plant's daughter! Last time I saw a girl that looked like Taylor Swift, she was trying to polish my pickleball board. All right, I don't want to beat the dead horse. But no, I do think that movie looks really good, though.
It does look good.
The last time, to my knowledge, that Scorsese and Leo worked together was Shutter Island. And I love that movie. Nice spooky movie. Nice spooky movie for the season if you haven't seen that one before. But now to dive into the piece of news about TV and movies that we just couldn't let go. J.K. Rowling. Now, get your bingo cards back out, because this one is super mega confusing. Do you have the bingo card? Are you gonna hit bingo?
I just stand my G.
Nice. You have your G? Damn, I didn't have this one on mine. I didn't know who was going to say it. I thought maybe DaBaby again, but I was just playing for my odds there. So I wonder if DaBaby would follow this up. But J.K. Rowling, let me preface this before I dive in. I do not agree at all whatsoever with J.K. Rowling's views. Fan of Harry Potter, all that. But with that being said, before we dive in on this, I am not in any way supportive of that dumbass J.K. Rowling's views.
She's off a baked bean.
She's off a couple baked beans, and not the Bush's kind.
No.
She's off the IGA.
Not the barbecue beans.
Fell off the fucking shelf, got a dent on it when it hit the ground kind of bean. Left a little dent in the can, so when you got home, there was some mold in it kind of beans.
It actually cracked.
So for those that don't know, J.K. Rowling, which I don't know where she said this at, by the way, but is a true headline in fact, that she, for years, obviously, has been transphobic. She's been very oddly 10 toes down on that. And she's not changing for anybody. And it's gotten to the point where now she is saying that she will happily, much obliged, to serve prison time. She is volunteering to serve prison time. If that's what it comes to show how stern she is on her anti-transphobic views, on her transphobic views. First off, I think on a real note, keep it a little serious. I want to make sure I cover everything before we take this vacay. I want to give a piece of everything before we go on break. I think hate at that level is a form of mental illness.
That's weird.
There's something going on there.
Weird. You're way too concerned.
You know what I mean? Like she had a man that maybe, which I don't know what her preference is, but I'm thinking maybe she had a man that like cheated on her with somebody who was, trans, with a trans woman, and just J.K. Rowling just could not let it go. She's like, I will literally live in my car for 3 years and write 9 Harry Potter books to show you how mad I am at this, so that this will get so famous that I'll become incredibly famous and nobody will be able to stop me from sharing how much against this I am. To baby, where are you at? I need backup, goddammit.
You gotta call him the baby.
Somebody's about to throw a busted goddamn Adidas at me if I go into the cell block. So, because that goes to my other thing. Can you imagine such a thing? Like, what if that was like part of the thing? If she's like, you know what? I'm pulling up to the station. Fucking cuff me. Fucking cuff me. Take me to Max. And they're like, all right. And I go, sure. And then like,
what do you say?
If you want this, go for it. They bring her in, and like her first day in, she gets like the gnarly like stud on the block that's like, so why are you here, baby? She's like, fucking hate trans people. She's like, well, came to the wrong goddamn place, because take a look at the courtyard anytime recently. J.K. Rowling, you are in a women's prison. Let me tell you this. We're Atlanta. About a fifth of these people, about a fifth of these inmates, you're in for a rude awakening come shower time, honey. You better know Half-Blood Prince word for word, because they're going to be asking for that shit. You better be able to give that ending screenplay between Harry Potter and Voldemort word for word, play by play, bar for bar. You miss a bar, you're in for a rude awakening. Like, that's like the last place you'd want to go. It's like you'd want to go to like a Trump rally. Like, I hate those people so much, I'll go to a Trump rally. It's like, well, at least you're with your kind. You go to a prison. I think you just kind of walked right into it. Like, I mean, maybe I just watched too much Orange is the New Black, but I saw that one. She's gonna fuck you up. Harry Potter or not. You're going to have somebody in there talking to you like 50 Cent, honey. If you can read one page of a Harry Potter book, JK, I'm going to let you get $10 on your commissary.
The fact that she fucking volunteered for prison is nuts. Just be like, yo, go to prison or not hate someone. All right, go to prison.
Yeah, like the guy would be being like, are you sure? Like, you don't want to like do it in the privacy of your own home, where it won't maybe necessarily affect anybody nor hurt anybody, and you can just sit in your house and be a piece of shit. Like, you want to go to prison?
It's like if you ask me, it's like, okay, take your Gucci hater hat off or serve 2 years. I'm just going to take the hat off. Like,
her hater hat is stapled. That thing is stapled to her head. And here's my thing, too, of all people. Do you realize what you wrote? I feel like that was half a Ravenclaw. I mean this with all love. I'm probably getting canceled right before vacay. I'll come back and there's no pod. But come back, no pod. They're like, damn, you went too hard on the episode before break. But no, JK, what I say earlier about Sean Kingston, I said about DJ Envy. JK Rowling, you're an idiot. What the fuck are you doing? In fact, you know what? I'll throw this busted ass moccasin at you, bitch. Bow! Hit you right on stage. Fuck you.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. All right. Well, to pivot off of that, enough of TV and movies. There wasn't, like I said, too much that happened this week. J.K. Rowling stole everybody's thunder. Good thing she didn't try to steal their virginities. That goes back to the prison comment.
Or their sexes.
Or their gender identification. I just imagine J.K. Rowling every time she's in a mall just being pissed as fuck every time she has to use the bathroom. She's like, I gotta take a piss.
She's the family.
Fuck.
The family restroom, and she turns into the Arthur meme.
She's like, fuck. Gotta come in here. There's a men's restroom with a baby station in it.
How dare men have to take care of their baby?
Because you know she's got to feel that way about other shit too.
Oh yeah, you don't just feel that way about one thing.
You just see her tomorrow, or on Monday morning, just pulling up to volunteer for prison. She just gets out of the limo, and you just hear Suge blasted by the baby. She does the dance. She does the dance up to the door, diaper and all. Just fucking bow, 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 right up to the fucking door. Well, let's talk a little about predictions, touch about pro wrestling, then we'll get up out of here. I know you guys are sick of me. I know you need a break from me too. Basketball season starts Monday. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. After week 1 and when we get back, when we do get back, I'll share how my fantasy teams are doing, what guys I have then. I will tell you one of my teams right now are centered around Wemby Mania. I am going crazy for Wemby. I'm loving everything I'm seeing in the preseason. I just hope this shit carries over and his legs hold up. Yeah. But very pumped to have basketball season back. Glad to have you in the league. MLB playoffs are currently going on. We got the Phillies playing the Arizona Diamondbacks. Series is tied at 2-2. Phillies up 4-0. I know you said you're rooting for your Phillies. I know we got a Phillian in the house. An affiliate of the Phillians in the house. On the other side of the MLB playoffs, though, just to make sure, who do we got? Oh, who do you think's going to win this series?
Rangers and the Astros, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
I got Phillies in 7.
You got Phillies in 7.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you on this one. Phillies in 7. Let's see where you go next, though.
I haven't watched a lick of the Astros-Rangers series. I don't even know what the series is tied. Like, I don't know what it is.
Let's take a look. We're talking Astros and the Rangers.
Yep.
Well, I can tell you right now, I know the Astros are going to win the series. That's my guess. That seems to always be the thing. They play tomorrow at 8:03 p.m., Game 6. They're in Houston. Houston leads 3-2. I'm thinking they're closing out that series and they're winning in 6.
I'm going to go 7 as well.
Rangers win in Houston, and then they're going to go back to Texas, and Houston's going to win in the 7th game in Texas.
Doesn't baseball do 2-3-2?
You're right. You are right. I thought of that in basketball.
Yeah, basketball does the 2-2-1.
Because you know what? As that rolled off my tongue, I was like, why would that make sense? Astros were the first seed.
Yeah.
I was like, that wouldn't make any sense why that would be home for Texas in the 7th. I'd be livid. Like, what do you mean?
New rule. Implemented now.
Yeah, so I think it will be so you're saying 7.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they close that bitch out tomorrow on a Sunday night. I'm thinking they close that bitch out. And with that being said, we're saying Astros Phillies because obviously we won't be live for it. Mm-hmm. So Astros Phillies championship, that is what we're going with. Who wins?
I think Phillies.
You're going Phillies?
Yeah, fuck the Houston Astros.
I want the Phillies to win, but to be honest, I think the Astros.
The Astros are just a good team, man. Like it's hard.
They have the most money now.
It's hard to beat them.
They overcame the Yankees on that.
Yeah, it's hard to beat them right now.
Oddly enough, they have the most jersey sales in baseball. I saw a couple days ago.
Yeah, especially through the whole cheating scandal thing too. Like, tell you what though, those Astro fans are some ride or dies.
I mean, in Houston, what other team do you really got to ride with right now? You got the Rockets, you got the Texans, you got
the Texans are showing a little bit of spark, but yeah, not
consistently good.
No.
I mean, you got a franchise with the Astros. I mean, these guys are going to be in the playoffs for years to come.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, unless the owner just says, fuck it, I'm unloading money into bogus stocks.
Yeah.
Into paddle boards. No, but
pickleball paddleboard polishers. I need a fleet of them.
I can't wait for Reddit to be like, I hope he forgets about that by the next pod. So now let's talk Sunday night, Monday night, and Browns predictions. Hit the meat and potatoes on it.
Meat and potatoes.
Sunday night prediction, that's your team, right?
Yep.
Which is Philly against?
Miami.
Where are they? In Philly.
Link, Sunday night, 8:20.
Are you
Kelly Green?
I know that's the game of the week. I know that's the one everybody's watching. Ballpark the score. Ballpark who you think's going to win?
I gotta take the Birds. It's got to take the Birds. They need a bounce back week after losing to the Jets. Tough game. For sure. Philly, I mean, Miami's got a great offense. I'm just not sure how much their defense can do it for them. I would say
Your offense is going to expose their defense.
I think it's going to be like a 31-24 type John.
31-24. You stole my score that I like to use. 31-24 Eagles beat the Dolphins. I'm going to raise you. I'm going to go 42-31 Eagles win.
Okay.
Because I do think that Dolphins offense is electric, but I do think that you guys are just going to chip away at their defense. Like, I saw their defense is projected stupid low this week.
Yeah.
Like, literally almost borderline, don't even bother with it, like, low. So I think you guys will take that one ultimately in the Sunday night game. As always, share your guys' predictions as well. Monday night game, now that's me. San Francisco, Minnesota.
San Fran.
What score?
38.
However, though, we got a factor. No
38-14.
Christian. We might not have Debo either.
Debo is out with a fractured shoulder for like 2 weeks or something like that. It's a hairline fracture. Christian McCaffrey's questionable. I would. It seems like he hasn't practiced 2 days in a row. But honestly, I still feel like Shanahan is not have like a huge contest in front of him. He's a good coach. I got San Fran in this one still. They come off a tough loss to a game they feel they should have won probably. They're gonna come out Monday night against a primetime Kirk Cousins, no Justin Jefferson. I really think they're going to come out and smack them. I think it's going to be like a 34-10 type beat.
That's my thing with that is coming from a Niners fan standpoint. Yes, if Justin Jefferson was there, I think that still is a threat, but I don't think the Vikings offensive line holds. I think we fucking give Kirk Cousins hell all night. I really think we give him hell all night. And as far as our defense goes, I don't see the Vikings getting over 13 points. I don't see them getting 2 touchdowns. I see a touchdown and 2 field goals. I think they can do that. With what they got, I think a touchdown and 2 field goals. That run game ain't going to do nothing on us. Madison and Cam Akers, forget about him. Jordan Addison, he's going to get some touches. He's going to get some targets.
Definitely.
KJ Osborne, he's going to get a couple targets too. TJ Hawkinson, he's going to do his thing. But I still think we hold. Now I got another hot take. 35-13, Niners win.
Pretty close to what I said.
I think we just shit all over their defense touchdowns. And I think Jordan Mason, here's my hot take. I think Jordan Mason gets in the end zone at least once.
I can see that.
I think Jordan Mason, I'm seeing something in that kid. I like that guy. I like him for years to come for the Niners. I actually think he could be something. As far as the Browns prediction, I'm not 100% sure. Who are they playing?
The Colts.
Where are they?
Fuck. I have to check. They are in Indy. Gardner Minshew starting the game, but Cleveland has allowed the lowest amount of yards for any defense since 1971. Watson has struggled, but he's shown some promise. But it was against. So he's questionable as now. That'll probably come down to a game.
If not, who do we rock with?
We're rocking with PJ Walker. They said, I believe, is the quarterback to run with if Watson is deemed not playing. I still got the Browns in that game no matter. I'm going to take like a 17-13 type score.
That's a close one. That's my first. I'm glad that you said that. I was going to say close too. I won't say the same score that you're saying, but I'll say something along those lines. 21-17.
Okay.
Browns win.
Yeah, I got the Browns in that one. Low scoring game, defensive.
Again, Browns defense factor.
Yeah.
X factor right there.
Mm-hmm.
That Myles Garrett.
Dog.
He a dangerous man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on that note, that is our predictions. And as always, I like to see your guys' prediction as well. I got to say, I forget the name off the top of my head, but there is one of you on Reddit that is actually scary good at this, and I hope that you're betting on it. He'll throw out like predictions like for like the Monday night game. Like I'll see that one, like the Sunday night and the Monday night. Mm-hmm. And like, granted, one of the two will fall through, but I've seen him on 3 different occasions hit the exact score.
Damn.
And I like the comment, and other people are like, damn, dude, you're a guru at this shit. And he's like, I watch a lot. Like, how do you watch to predict the score? Like, I feel like that's tough. Like, you got to predict any little thing. Like the one game he predicted a score where a safety was involved, and that's where people were like, "Whoa, okay, that's kind of weird." Like, you're kind of a guru at that. Like, you had a fucking safety factor.
Safety,
yeah. Like, holy shit. I forget which game it was. I think it was when
Is it Steelers Ravens?
When Pickett got sacked in the end zone. That, or was it Lamar?
I think there was like a flag, and it was deemed because if you have like a holding call when you're inside the end zone, it's like a.
Or was it one where the punter stepped on his back foot and went out of bounds?
I'm not sure.
It was something like that, though. He nailed it. But to close out with a little bit of pro wrestling. Which, again, nothing much too unfolded this week that was felt deemed to talk about. Cena, on a WWE note, posted a picture on Instagram, which is a screenshot of Jordan Belfort, which was played by Leonardo DiCaprio and Scorsese film as well. So that was another time he worked with him off the top of my head. Glad I thought of that. Because earlier I said Shudder was the only time. So there were 2 times. In Wolf of Wall Street, when he cut that famous speech where he goes, I'm not fucking leaving. He posted a screenshot of that. And I think is tied in with how last night they gave him like a huge standing ovation on SmackDown, to the point where like he was literally blown away. He was flabbergasted that it was even happening. And you could tell it almost brought even tears to his eyes. I think Cena will be hanging around for a while. I don't know if it'll be like he's staying for good. No, I don't think that. I don't think he could health-wise. But I think he could be with us till Mania.
Yeah, he can hang around.
I think he can hang around to Mania. Say, hey, there's a gap.
He still stays in shape. You see him in the movies and stuff he does. It's not like by any means he's fallen off his fitness wagon or anything.
And I think the difference with him, because I saw the one comment was like, oh, well, if he can stay, so can The Rock. That's not true. John Cena, yes, Hollywood star. Yes, he's the peacemaker. Yes, he is the solo guy in things. But he's not on the level of The Rock. No, The Rock's, if I sign on to something, I'm the main star.
You know,
I am the guy.
The Rock Johnson. People know him not even for wrestling, and then there's people that know him for just wrestling. It's just like that dude is.
Then there's people that know him for both.
Yeah.
There's people that went to go see the movies because they went, wait a minute, that was the guy that was giving people rock bottoms on Friday nights. Shit. And people's elbows. Super fucking cool. But yeah, I'd love to see Cena hang around for a while.
Yeah.
And definitely. I think last night definitely helped too, because he's like, wow, like they love me.
He's a legend for sure.
Now to talk about somebody, though, that, unfortunately is fucking leaving. He announced that his retirement match will be at the AEW Revolution pay-per-view in 2024, which is where he had his first comeback match, which was at AEW Revolution 2019. Sting is finally, the Stinger, woo, is finally announcing his retirement.
About damn time, man. Nothing against him, but you were way too old to be doing that shit, my man. I just imagine every time he goes home, he's wrapped up like Kobe in that one fucking meme. He's got ice pack on the knees.
Yeah, bro. You got back surgery.
On the shoulders, ice packs on the back. Like, you're just a walking icebox at that point. Like,
at that point, like you said, you got to worry about your quality.
Might as well get an ice tub that just rolls around on wheels.
Yeah, you got to worry about your quality of life at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, granted, yes, he is still.
One bad move, you break a hip, and never.
Like that table spot that he took, you could tell, like, even when he was about to do it, and everybody knew he was actually about to do it.
Yeah.
There was even some people in the crowd that, like, kind of had that, like, oh, God, I hope he lands this thing. Mm-hmm. Like, this thing fucks up, his knees hit the concrete, we're fucked.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, shit. But he did mention originally, well, not originally, but in that retirement speech, that there's a couple names that he wanted to thank. Like Ric Flair, he wanted to thank Hulk Hogan, which Hulk Hogan got a bunch of boos, which was hilarious. He's like, I know, I hear you, but he was my friend in the 70s. And it's like, good God, Sting, this is why you should have retired a minute ago. But no, he, as far as being an older wrestler, though, that actually, like, could hang in there and do cool things in the ring and compete and actually hold his own in promos and not look like, oh, God, get the wheelchair for this senior citizen.
Yeah.
He actually held in there really great.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool that he's announcing his retirement, and the fact that he said that this will be a wrestling retirement, that is for sure. Like he's given way too much to the industry. He's ready to enjoy the fruits type shit.
Yep.
On that note, though, I think when Tony Khan saw Sting announcing his retirement, his blood pressure went up by about 10, 15.
Fuck, I mean.
Well, with that being said, Big Show, a.k.a. for those that don't know his real name, Paul White, which is what he goes by in AEW, was sent to Ohio Valley Wrestling, which is a great promotion. They actually had that Wrestlers Netflix series on, which was amazing, which is ran by Al Snow. Well, Big Show went on to OVW to one of their sold out like kind of shows, which is like a, glorified gymnasium, high school type thing, which still it's good to get a packed house for OVW like that because they do have great stars there. I'm not trying to undermine them. But Big Show came out and announced that AEW is now running a deal. Buy one, get one free AEW Dynamite tickets. And we close out like this. What do you think of that move from a business standpoint when you already have the internet making fun of you for struggling?
If you're already being made fun of for struggling, you're not just running some special promotion trying to, garnish a little bit of attention. I definitely think in the position they're at, when you're offering a buy one, get one free, you're almost begging people to come.
That's what you don't want to do. And I'm glad that you said that because that's the way and the way he even delivered the speech, it was kind of like that, like, oh, fuck, y'all are reaching. Which is like crazy because AEW, when it first started off, it had like a great, like 3-year on top of the world run. And then you probably didn't get to hear, but we mentioned on the pod last week that AEW lost by about over 300K in the ratings war when they went head to head on Tuesday night. And, they got Edge now to return. Yeah, they lost CM Punk, but they got Edge now to return. Yeah. I think AEW has been doing great things. I think MJF is a megastar, but WWE is just in a massive boom right now. Pro wrestling's in a boom in general. And now AEW's ticket sales are starting to take a hit because I think, I mentioned this before too, I think what Tony's trying to do is he's trying to do too big of arenas and he's trying to do what WWE does.
He's trying to do what he wants to do in the future now, but he needs to get to that point.
He got ahead of himself.
Mm-hmm.
It was like you didn't have that sustainable market. That was a flash in the pan style market.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't necessarily built to hang around forever. Mm-hmm. And like I noticed the one person, oh boy, Reddit comments already. Love it. Love it. Saying that Gucci Mane was the album of the summer.
Summer, it didn't even drop in summer.
Half of it did. I guess depending on how you look at it. Oh, God. Now I'm hating on you. No, I'm not doing any of that. Hey, I'm glad you enjoy it. Everybody's free to enjoy what they want.
Like I always said, there's no bad music.
That's why I said I love seeing it. The Reddit comments, we're not even done with the pod, and the Reddit comments are all popping off. I love that shit. I really do. In fact, it means the fucking world to me. Well, on that note, I think we covered about everything. Simulation's gone mad. It's absolutely insane. The feds did a sweep at iHeartRadio. J.K. Rowling's volunteering for prison time. What the hell? There's pickleball paddleboards flying left and right. Tweedledee, tweedledonk. Tweedle stick a needle in my eye. See you guys in 2 weeks. Tony Clifton. But no, Pull Up a Chair episode 60. Thank you guys for being tuned in for a little bit of the Shake It Before You Bake It special edition Pull Up a Chair episode 60 episode. Tomorrow night we do go live for Sleepless Radio episode 165, Hobson versus Tech 9. We got a first-time battler, the good brother Joey in the house. Gonna be excited to be rolling some J's with Big Joseph and excited to have him in the Thunderdome for his first battle. We know he's a little bit, acquainted with it, but he's not too hip. He's never been in the hot seat before. And you know what it's like being in the hot seat. You know it's not easy. But on that note, excited for our next battle as well. Thank you once again, Koozie, for pulling up. We're about to get a shake and bake session in. Pull Up a Chair episode 60. Can't wait to tell you guys how my vacay went. Hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful time. Keep the love high and the hate low. Wake up with a smile on and remember to remind yourselves 3 things that you are grateful for. And in the mornings, I like to step out for a ciggy or two. Siggy Guerrero, you know me. I'll pop in on Reddit. I'll chime in with you guys real quick. Keep the love high and the hate low. As Snooker would say, stay blessed and less stressed. And Koozie, do you have any phrase, anything that means a lot to you that you would like to say to the people before we get out of here on this blessed and wonderful, beautiful, sleepless Saturday night?
Peace out. Enjoy life, dogs.
Boom. Peace. Baboom.